You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is BMORE Lifestyle.
Hey, what's up, Baltimore? It's me, Lady T, and this is BMORE Lifestyle, live from Studio B at Fox Baltimore. It's a new day, the rain has cleared away, and there's quite a lot to discuss today, so let's get to it. So, meteorologist Ashley Kramlich is here with us, and family law attorney Morgan Foster. Hey, you guys. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Okay, all right, so let's get to it. So VP Mike Pence finally addresses the big buzz on social media, the fly on his head, the big buzz, right? So he told Fox News he wasn't aware of the fly when it was happening. The fly sat for 2 minutes on the VP's head during last week's vice presidential debate. He learned of the fly after the debate from his kids. Pence said it was a good laugh for everybody. I think this is hilarious. I was cracking up when it was initially happening, but I just think it's great that he as a politician can actually like laugh at himself. I think that's great when you can just laugh at yourself, you know, in any situation that happens. And, you know, even the SNL stuff that happened, I think he's being a good sport. You know what I mean? What do you think, Morgan?
I agree. I think he's been very gracious and a good sport about it. But I have to say that my thought during the debate, I usually find Mike Pence to be a very effective debater, but I thought he was pretty disrespectful to both the host and Kamala Harris. So I had to laugh to myself. I thought it was a little bit what he deserved. And
oh, you thought it was karma? Oh, man. Well, I'm just glad that he can laugh at himself. A lot of people are really tough out there. You know, they're really tough in their jobs. And it's good to see somebody just laughing at themselves. I laugh at myself all the time.
And
you know what I mean?
kudos to him for that.
Yes, okay. Excellent. All right. Now, let me tell you. Here's what's up next. A 20-year-old shares how he's using the oven, and it's sparking a big debate on how often you should be cleaning your oven. The viral tweet from Henpecked Hal shared the text convo with his cousin, who asked how often you should be cleaning your oven. The cousin shared that he cleans it every time he uses it. Whoa, that's a lot. Like, it turns out he wasn't using baking sheets, which was why it was getting so dirty. This had other people sharing their own cooking mistakes online. This is hilarious because, first of all, number one, I don't clean the oven every single time I use it. Who is out here doing that? Number two, okay, yes, you know, you're using cooking sheets, but I use the foil mostly. I'm using foil. I'm putting it in a pan. You know, how are these people out here cooking? The young folks don't know how to. Ashley, tell me you know how to cook and you're using foil.
Yes, well, I actually saw this tweet last week, and this guy's 21. He just moved into his own apartment.
Right.
And he was cooking meat straight on the rack with nothing covering it.
What?
I don't know what his mom was teaching him, but that just seems like no common sense right there.
She said, I don't know what his mama been teaching him. Okay. Morgan, tell me what you think.
Well, I think that the thought that it sparks in my mind, and I've got a lot of time for this because my son is only 4, but it reminds me that sometime in the next 14 years, I need to make sure that I give him a few important lessons before he heads off to college.
You have to.
And how to properly use the oven.
Yeah, that or give him an easy bake oven, whatever one you can do.
Exactly, exactly.
Sarah, what did you think? Did you see the tweet, girl?
I did actually see the tweet, and I never clean my oven. My oven is spotless because I never use it. I'm more of a microwave girl, but I remember I can somewhat relate because I was constantly playing sports from softball, basketball, ran cross country. So I never actually was inside with my mom to learn how to cook. So one day, this was actually in high school, my mom calls me and she says, Tara, I need you to boil a dozen eggs. Just take a pot, fill it halfway with water, turn on the oven, turn on the stove, bring the water to a boil, then put 12 eggs in the pot. So I did everything. Then I took the eggs and I cracked each individual egg and put them in the pot to boil. And my mom came home and was like, what is this egg drop soup? You leave the eggs whole.
Oh, so man, Tara, we gotta teach you how to boil water, girl. We gotta take it all the way back. Well, now, everyone, we want you to tell it. What kinds of oven mistakes have you made? No baking sheet, putting a cutting board in the oven, not using pot holders, something else? Head to foxbaltimore.com/vote and let us know on the Fox 45 News app. Under Explore, you can find the spot to vote, and at the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. I'll even tell mine at the end, too. Now, retailers hope today will kick off a big shopping season. Amazon Prime Day starts today. Target announced its deal days today and tomorrow to compete with Amazon. Ooh, a little competition there. And Walmart launched Big Save Sale, which started off on Sunday. Wayfair, Nordstrom, and Old Navy also announced their sales happening around the same time. So a lot of sale competition. Is anybody shopping for Amazon Prime Day? I'll tell y'all this, ladies. I'm not doing Amazon Prime Day because I feel like the deals are not as good. I could get better deals at Dollar Tree than what I'm seeing out there today. Okay, and that's just my opinion. I mean, look, Morgan, I'll let you start. Tell me.
Well, as my 4-year-old well knows, every day is Amazon Prime Day at my house. We probably overutilize the resource of online shopping. So especially during the time of COVID, if it is possible to order it online and have it shipped, I will do it. So we're a big fan of shopping online. Hey, if sales happen, even better, but we're probably going to order it anyway.
Okay. Ashley, you shopping, girl?
I am shopping. I don't know what I'll be shopping for, but I will definitely be checking out the websites once I get home later on today to see what the good deals are. If there's anything worth buying now, well, I may go ahead and...
Yeah, just go ahead on and rack it up. Start your cart. Start your cart. Yep. Tara, do you have anything in your cart currently?
I actually do have some things in my cart currently. So I love to try and find a good deal, but what's so great about Amazon Prime, it's all on the same platform. Everything goes in the same cart. Then if you do have Prime and you don't have to pay for shipping, I actually don't have Prime, but sometimes I'll use my mom's or my brother's account, but then I have done the thing where it actually ships to their house instead of my house, so that gets tricky. So sometimes I'll just spend enough money on Amazon so that way I don't have to pay for the shipping. And I may be like the rare exception, because I don't mind if it takes a few days to get to me, because I get the satisfaction of buying the item,
you're paying extra
and then I
shipping.
wait a few days.
So you're paying, you're going to pay the extra shipping and everything.
I don't mind.
Wow.
Sometimes I don't mind, because then it's like a few days later I get the excitement again. It's like I just bought it again versus getting it the next day.
Wow. Okay. Well, you ladies have told it today. I can say, let me tell it, but y'all have told it today, okay? Thank you so much for chatting with me today. Up next, the victory parade for the LA Lakers is in question right now. What the team is saying about when it could be held. Also, co-parenting can be challenging any day of the year, but when you add on the global pandemic, it takes on all new difficulty. Next, we catch up with Morgan Foster again about how you can co-parent successfully.
You're watching BMORE Lifestyle.
Co-parenting any time of the year can present quite a challenge, but during a pandemic can seem even more unbearable. Morgan Foster, a family attorney, thanks for coming back. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
All right. So tell me, where can we get started when it comes to co-parenting?
Anybody who's co-parented at any time of the year, as you said, has experienced some of the challenges. If people are divorced or have split in their relationship and children are going back and forth between two households, there are always some added challenges there. But these have really been ramped up during the time of COVID. So here are a few challenges that some people face, and I have a few suggestions for how to deal with these as well. One of the main issues is that usually when children go back and forth between two households, it's really only what the households do when the children are there that matters.
Right.
But of course, as we've all learned during the time of COVID, it's what you do all the time that matters. If you go have a week on, week off schedule and kids are going back and forth, if you're doing dangerous or risky activities during your week, even when the children aren't there, that obviously affects your children's health and therefore the health of the other household as well.
Wow. Okay. So how do we make it easier for kids?
So the number one rule in co-parenting and this goes beyond issues that just relate to COVID, is keep it consistent. And the hard thing about this is that the parents in different households have to come to some consensus on what the rules should be. But providing consistency for kids in the rules, whether they're rules related to COVID, when you're allowed to do play dates, what activities you can participate in, when you have to wear masks, whether you're doing school virtually or in person, that choice should be universal between the two households. And as much as parents can take a consistent approach, it will always make it easier on the kids to go back and forth.
Interesting. Okay, so how can we find out more information?
So I will post, just like I did last time, on my blog, which is www.divorcing-gracefully.com. I posted information from the last time I was with you on some of the general parenting challenges during the time of COVID. And I'm also going to post an article today on some tips specifically related to co-parenting during the time of COVID.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Morgan, for joining us. Those are great tips.
Great to see you again.
All right, till next time. Enjoy your Halloween candy, but don't share it with your pets. The dangers in candy for your dog or your cat. Also, rumors start to swirl as Cardi B parties in Vegas. How she was the one to add to these rumors. Next in Spilling the Tea.
This is BMORE Lifestyle.
Hey, welcome back. Now it's time to spill some tea. Okay, let's start off with a follow-up on Tory Lanez, okay? So he responded to charges in relation to shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. On Twitter, he said the truth will come to light, right? But he didn't realize what truth. Last week, the Canadian rapper and singer was charged with shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson. Daystar? I had to clutch the pearls there. He's facing 1 count of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and 1 count of carrying a loaded concealed firearm in a vehicle. That's according to the LA County District Attorney's Office, so he's in some hot water there. Up next, the LA Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm excited about this one. The Lakers win to become the NBA champions. Congrats to them, but the victory parade and celebration is postponed due to the pandemic. Ugh. So that's according to the team's Twitter page. Team officials say as soon as it's safe to do so, they'll have the celebration. Los Angeles City and county officials have banned large gatherings of people. The Lakers captured the franchise's 17th NBA championship on Sunday night with a Game 6 victory over the Miami Heat. Now, there have been possible rumors of a possible virtual parade and party, but the Lakers have not released any info on that yet, okay? So we don't know about that yet, but more tea, more tea. Next up, actor Jonah Hill and fiancée Gianna Santos, they called off their engagement after 2 years together. They called it an amicable split, which everybody's calling it that nowadays. So that's according to the Daily Mail. They stayed out of the spotlight for such a long time, so I knew something was up. He popped the question last year, and we hadn't really seen them together since then, which is kind of weird. But the couple was last seen together back in August. So, Now it's time to talk about my girl, Cardi B. So Cardi B spent this last weekend celebrating her birthday, my fellow Libra. So she celebrated in Las Vegas, and guess who came to the party? Mr. Offset from the group Migos, her soon-to-be ex-husband. But are they back together? So rumors have been swirling, and rumor has it that she was spotted making out with Offset at her B-Day celebration. What you doing, Cardi? Oh my gosh, so they initially filed for divorce like a month ago. The rapper posted videos with him on her Instagram page. She turned 28 on Sunday, so could love be back in the air for Cardi B and Offset. Up next, the Real Housewives of Atlanta couple, Cynthia Bailey, she's my favorite housewife. Cynthia Bailey and Fox Sports broadcaster Mike Hill got married this past weekend in a beautiful Georgia ceremony. She even wore like a face shield during the reception, and she still looked fabulous, I'm telling you. So congrats to them, the lucky lovers. They look so beautiful. They look like they had a good time too. Well, that's all for the tea for today. Now go sip on all of that tea, you guys. Now, we started off cloudy, but the sun is going to make an appearance soon. Meteorologist Ashley Kramlick is sharing some pictures this morning. Hey, Ashley girl.
Hello, Tiffany. Yes, finally a dry forecast. This morning we were looking at cloud cover. This is over in the Patterson Park area. You can see clouds pretty thick throughout the morning. Not many peaks of sunshine quite yet, but that's what we are tracking later on this week. Let me show you what we're looking at over our Inner Harbor camera right now. Still some haze and some fog on the horizon. Temperatures are still pretty chilly at this hour. We are still in the 60s, 60 at BAWI, 61 in Annapolis, 61 in DC, currently in Westminster, 59, 57 in Ellicott City, and 60 right now in White Marsh. So it's a cool start to the morning. The remnants of Delta, they are up to the north of us, and they continue to push into New England. So we're looking at dry conditions right now. We also have a cold front that is making its way through. That's going to usher in some dry Canadian air over the next several days. We'll actually have a series of cold fronts making their way in as we end out the week and head into our weekend. So for today, a mostly cloudy day. Temperatures will try to make it into the low 70s by this afternoon. Tomorrow, even better. I think we'll bring in more sunshine, 72 for the high, 76 for our Thursday. By this weekend, some really cool air will be spilling in across the eastern seaboard. What that means for us is that we are tracking the chance for some rain to end out the week, and temperatures will be knocked back down into the 60s. So check out your Friday, 90% chance for widely scattered showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm. I think most of this is going to be in the form of rain. And then we dry out for our Saturday, highs in the 60s. We barely make it to the low 60s on Saturday, mid 60s on Sunday, and then we're back into the 70s heading into next week.
Thanks so much, Ashley. Now, one of the best parts about Halloween is all the candy. And while we may enjoy it, it can be toxic to your pets. Veterinarian Dr. Devon Smith is here to talk about the big dangers lurking in your kids' Halloween candy stash. Good morning, Devon. How are you?
Good. Darcy and I are happy to be here.
Oh, that's Darcy. Hey, Darcy. How are you?
That's I'm good.
I know. I'm like, is Darcy going to talk back?
She might, if we're lucky.
Right. Well, thank you for joining us. So tell me, what are the biggest concerns for Halloween this year?
Sure. So the biggest concern is that your pup, like I know mine would love to, gets into either your candy or your child's candy. And the biggest thing is dose. So what that means to me as a veterinarian is what Darcy eats could affect her very differently than what maybe a dog the size of a Yorkie eats. And so, you know, it's really important to, if your dog gets into chocolate or any sort of candy, notify your veterinarian, contact your veterinarian so you and they can determine together what next steps, if any, need to be taken. And that's where, again, the dose is such an important thing, and knowing, if possible, what your pet got into. So the type of chocolate, as an example, can have a very different impact than, like a milk chocolate bar is going to have a different impact on Darcy than pure cacao or 100% cacao chocolate.
Right.
And so if your pet gets into something, it's, you know, you're going to panic, and then get yourself together and try and figure out what they ate, the quantity they ate, and if you have any of the wrapping, bring that all with you to the animal hospital.
Okay, so what kind of symptoms should we be looking for in our pets?
Sure. So with chocolate, the biggest thing is GI upset, so vomiting and diarrhea, and then in severe cases, it can actually lead to really high heart rates, up into the 300s. My cousin's dog actually got into chocolate very recently, and she had to be hospitalized for that. So if you see evidence like wrappers all over the house or missing candy, definitely consider your pooch, like this one here, and reach out to your veterinarian, especially if you do notice any restless behavior, any vomiting, any diarrhea, and especially if you see those wrappers, which is good evidence that someone got into something they probably shouldn't have.
Right. So Darcy looks very comfortable there, actually. But tell me, what kind of Halloween treats can we give our pets like Darcy?
Sure. So many pet stores sell animal-friendly Halloween treats that are shaped in, you know, skeletons and pumpkins. So just make sure that it's something that's labeled and made for and intended for ingestion by our furry friends. You do have to worry with cats as well, although I tend to think my cats are outliers in this conversation, that they aren't as motivated to eat some of the chocolate and candy that we might bring into our homes. It's really, with Halloween, I worry more about the dogs and the cats. But pet stores do make lots of fun treats and costumes for our pets so they can enjoy the holiday with our family.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much, Devon, Darcy. You guys were great.
Happy to be here.
All right. And we want you to tell it, what kinds of oven mistakes have you made? Make sure you head to foxbaltimore.com/vote to let us know. And I'll tell you mine at the end of the show, too. Now, we wanted you to tell it, what kinds of oven mistakes have you made? No baking sheet, putting a cutting board in, not using pot holders, or is it something else? Well, 60% said no pot holders. Wait a minute, what are you superheroes? Like, did you burn yourself? Well, my biggest mistake that I always do is I always put stuff in the oven and then walk away, and then I don't come back, and I seem to burn it sometimes, which is kind of funny. So that's my biggest oven mistake. Well, thank you guys for sharing, and we've got a great show lined up for tomorrow. Create the perfect family meal, and it all comes with a fall twist. Chef Egg is getting creative in the kitchen. He's showing us how to make roasted chicken, kale salad, and sweet potato ganache. Ooh, that sounds good.
Find out how to have your business featured on BMORE Lifestyle. Email us at bmorelifestyletv@foxbaltimore.com.
Baltimore, thank you for inviting us into your home. Stay strong, Baltimore. Remember to live, laugh, and love. I'll see you tomorrow.